Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the front brakes on this 2005 Volkswagen Jetta. It's the same part and similar process on these Jettas from 2005 to 2006. And we show you on the passenger side, but the driver's side is the same procedure. And the items you'll need for this is a new front brake pad and rotor kit from 1AAuto.com, 17 and 21mm socket and ratchet, flat blade screwdriver, a pick, a T30 and T47 Torx bit, a hammer, jack and jack stands, wire brush, large C-clamp, brake grease, and a torque wrench. Now using your pick, remove these caps. And for one of these lug nuts, you're going to have to use a key, and the key can be found in your trunk with the spare tire. It just inserts into that special lug nut and then removes the same as the other lug nuts using a 17mm socket. And if you have air-powered tools, you can raise your vehicle, then remove the lug nuts. If you don't, loosen the lug nuts while the vehicle's on the ground, then raise and support the vehicle and remove them the rest of the way, and then your wheel will pull free.
Now we can inspect our brakes. You just want to kind of see if there's any large grooves or anything in the rotors. These are actually pretty smooth, but on the other hand, here's the metal part of the pad. Here's actually the friction part that's very thin, and then there's your rotor. Okay, so the pads on this actually need to be replaced. So the first thing we're going to do is there's little plugs here that pry out, and then there are Torx bits in there. And there's this one here, and this one down here as well.
And we'll fast forward as Mike removes those two T47 bolts. A flat blade screwdriver, just pry out this wire clip and pull it free.
Just to get things off easier, take a large screwdriver and just pry a little bit.
Now pull your brake caliper off, and this first brake pad will just pull right out, and then this one just pull out on either side of it, and it'll pull out of the piston. Now remove these two 21mm bolts. And you can see Mike uses a piece of pipe for some extra leverage and just removes those. And once those are removed, your caliper bracket will pull free. Now remove this T30 screw at the front of your rotor. Spray some penetrating oil around the edge here where the rotor meets the hub, and then twist in one of these lug bolts halfway, and then using a hammer just hit the back of the rotor until it breaks free, then remove that lug bolt and your rotor will pull off. On the right is the old rotor and brake pads, on the left is the new ones from 1AAuto. You can see they're identical and will fit exactly the same. Take your new rotor and push it into place, and then replace that T30 screw to hold it in place. And we'll fast forward as Mike tightens that up. Using a wire brush, clean the brake caliper bracket in the areas where the pads come in contact. Now take your caliper bracket and put it back into place and replace those two 21mm bolts and tighten them up. And now torque each of those 21mm bolts to 90 foot-pounds. Using a large C-clamp, push the piston on the caliper back in. Then push these brake caliper slides back.
Okay, we just put some brake grease on the backs of the pads, and then some in where they're going to hit against the caliper bracket. And then just going to use a socket to set that inner bracket. Right in. Outer one just goes right down in. Right on.
Now tighten up those two T47 screws. And torque each of those to 30 foot-pounds. Push the wire clip back into place. Replace these two caps. Now replace your wheel, and you'll realize here that lug nuts are a bit easier than lug bolts, but you just have to try to hold the wheel in place while you put a lug bolt through, and you want to just balance it on the hub, and eventually the bolt will line up and push in, and then you just want to tighten those up preliminarily. And replace and tighten up each of those, then lower the vehicle and tighten them up the rest of the way. And now torque each of these to 100 foot-pounds in a crossing pattern. And replace your lug nut caps. After doing work on your brakes, you want to pump the brake pedal until it firms up, and then do a stopping test from 5 miles per hour and then 10 miles per hour.
We hope this video helps you out. Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.